Welcome to My Daily Thread. It's a great little place to get a snippet of wisdom from the yoga and the meditation masters to start or to end your day. I'm Jeff Lichty. All right, my happy friends, welcome back to the show. We are right in the middle of the Sādhana Pāda, Chapter 2, Verse 33, vitarka-bādhane, pratipakṣa-bhāvanam. When disturbed by negative thoughts, cultivate the opposite. Wow, this is such a powerful lesson, and it's a practical tool that we can apply to everyday life. It's simple, but it's not easy. We end up stuck in negative thinking. It's very easy to slide into the negative thinking. It's very easy to get drawn into negative conversations. Old conditioning from the amygdala that says, look for the negative situation because that's the one that's going to harm you and ultimately do you some bad stuff. You're not going to be able to get your food. You're going to get eaten by the tiger, whatever it happens to be. You know that amygdala stuff that we've talked about in the past. And speaking about moving negative to positive, would you hit the like button? Would you subscribe? That really helps us in the podcast world. Thanks, gang. Appreciate it. But today I want to get to pragmatics. I'm an operations guy, like I've said in the past. I want people to really have something usable from this podcast. When we are in the negative situation, when we are in the heat of the battle, that's not the time to be planning our positive reframe. It's far preferable to have that positive mindset in place before the negative event. We want to come to this when the seed of fear is just starting to develop and we sense it, we feel it, we know it's coming. That's the time, if you have a moment, to sit, to meditate, to instill these new positive mantras, affirmations. Doesn't really matter what we call them, but the pratipakṣa-bhāvanam, according to Patanjali, bhavanam. It's not just thinking, it's cultivating, it's meditating, it's feeling, it's embodying, it's trying to feel our way into a new mental attitude, a new mental space. And that pratipaksha, we have to take the opposite position, not that position of the one that's filled with fear. Fear is not a good advisor, my friends. I can tell you that from my own history. So the idea is that as we find the mind sinking into darkness, we want to be able to plant a pause. We want to consciously be able to turn the light on, to take away that darkness. So the first step in pratipakṣa-bhāvanam to me is pause. Pause and breathe. And before you move on, there's a great skit by Bob Newhart on YouTube called Stop It. It is fantastic just to put some levity in this situation. Friends, give it a look. But the first thing we have to do is stop. We have to stop and we have to pause. You usually have to breathe. And then we have to recognize that we need to cultivate that bhavanam, that opposite, the pratipakṣa-bhāvanam, the opposite of whatever the fear that's coming up for us. Here's a few simple applications of this sutra. Think about life as thought replacement therapy. Yeah. If the thought comes up, I'm not good enough, we pause, you breathe, and you start to pratipakṣa-bhāvanam, find that positive opposite, the negative. If you can't quite wrap your head around whatever it is you're trying to affirm, simply add the thought and the wording, I am willing. You become willing to do that. The I'm not good enough thing might turn into I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm happy to grow, I'm willing to grow, I'm strong. And one of the things I used in India a lot was I'm healthy, I'm flexible, I'm strong. These became like mantras for me. And the days I couldn't make that a positive affirmation, the days I couldn't believe it, that's when I increased the willingness. I added the willingness. I am willing to become. I don't feel like I'm growing. Well, then I'm willing to grow. I am willing to learn. I am willing to be worthy. I'm willing to be willing. If there's restlessness or judgment or frustrations that arise, then could you just name it? Just name that frustration. Name it. Put it out there. Say it out loud. It could be, I'm judging. I'm comparing, I'm impatient. Or maybe it's just like, I'm grumpy, and I try to expand my vocabulary around grumpy to say that, no, I'm judging, no, I'm feeling fearful, no, I am feeling whatever it is I'm feeling, and expand that emotional vocabulary a little bit, and then apply pratipakṣa-bhāvanam, affirm that opposite positive. Really, when you think about it, this sutra, it will train our mental agility. We are not slaves to our thoughts. We're not. We can pause, we can choose, we can redirect. This is what some might call inner alchemy. It's one of the most beautiful gifts that we can get from the Yoga Sutra tradition. Personal growth, that is for our taking, but we have to choose it every day. All right, friends, enough for today. Tomorrow we move on. Om, peace out.